Tommy.
Come on, she need help. What the fuck is you just staring at me for?
She gone, Tommy.
I was wrong about you, Lillian. You was loyal to the end.
So we just witnessed one of the most heartbreaking deaths, and what makes it here as a Power fan is watching someone Tommy cared about die in his arms. Now if we were to rewind this back to Power, there were countless of people who died in Tommy's arms, and even by Tommy himself. There was Holly for her betrayal. He also killed his own father Tony Teresi for being a snitch. There was also Lakeisha, who he was just about to propose to, but arguably the most heartbreaking one was Ghost, dying in his arms at the end of Power. But now we can add Liliana to the list as well, and this is why this death really hit. Because they built Liliana's character up so well from the season, from just being this regular career chick who was running for Ghost and Tommy in New York, and you can bet Tommy will get his revenge. But speaking of New York, the power worlds did collide from Chicago back to New York, and Tommy really is in danger going into season 2, because his dead status is in jeopardy, because it really is only a matter of time before Blanca Rodriguez discovers he's still alive. So with that being said, in this recap part 2, we're going to focus on 2 key elements from episode 10, which is Liliana's death and how Power Book 4 Force and Ghost are poised to come together. But let's start with Liliana and whether she earned her death, because this is the biggest question we have to ask. Did Liliana earn her death? Because she was someone who was like a cat with 9 lives, which dates back all the way to the first episode of Power, where Tommy wanted her dead. But fast forward to Power Book 4 Force, Tommy also wanted her dead in Force. She also found herself in trouble with the Serbs twice, but she continued to prove her worth again and again, which is why Tommy was really hurt by her death. But I think Tommy felt this death a lot more because she was in essence a piece of Ghost, because he's the one who kept her alive, and in the end she really did prove useful to Tommy. But let's not get it twisted, Liliana did come with her troubles. For starters, she killed the Serb, which is why she had these 10 bricks at the beginning of Force, and whether or not she knew, this caused a lot of heat and attention in the form of Tatiana returning and the Serbian twin. But even though Tommy didn't have to help, he did, and he killed a few of the Serbs along with Tatiana with saving Liliana. But then we saw her repay the faith back to Tommy, being his voice of reason and helping him build his organization. But again, she found herself in the hands of the Serbs and Merkovic because she was a little reckless taking Dahlia. But this is where Tommy came to her rescue, and she really did think she faced the worst.
Hey, you still here? Abso-fucking-lutely. I'm resilient as a motherfucker.
But bringing it back to episode 10, there was something she did right, but wrong at the same time. Now she was right in letting Dr. Williams go, but she never made sure she had a safe passage out of Chicago, and that was mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 was letting it slip that JP is Tommy's brother, and those who watch my character analysis know I broke down how family is Tommy's biggest weakness, and if Chenard could find out Tommy had family, he could use D-Mac or JP against him, but it was actually Claudia who found out JP was Tommy's brother, and this put JP in danger. Now, something else which Liliana didn't do was tell Tommy Chenard was the one who wanted him dead, because even though Tommy had a theory and was along the right lines of knowing it was a CBI, Liliana should have said, hold up a second, Chenard offered me cash to kill you, and this would have allowed Tommy to put 2 and 2 together even quicker, and she really should have told Tommy a long time ago. But the base of the issues here is, if Liliana made sure Dr. Williams was safely out of Chicago, this would have avoided Claudia finding out about JP and using this as leverage, and Liliana probably would have survived. But Claudia killing Liliana is going to have some blowback, even though she may have felt a little guilty for doing so. She did what needed to be done from her side to protect her family. But regardless, I really do hope she catches a hot one from Tommy, because this war is definitely not over, and Tommy's hurt, anger, and pain will definitely be felt by all of us Power fans, especially because he's lost so many loved ones in the past, and there goes another one, ironically in Tommy's arms again. So let's move on to how they set up the 2 Power worlds to collide in Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3. Because this is something I focused heavily on over the past few weeks, because you could see which direction they were taking this story with these pictures from Officer Vargas and Kayla. But starting from the beginning, Tommy came to Chicago after Power Book 2 Ghost Season 1. It was confirmed when he told Tatiana he was already dead. If anybody had any further doubts, then it was also confirmed when Kate said, "Of course you're fucking alive," because the news reports at the end of Season 1 of Ghost would have said that Tommy was dead. But Tommy's plates were run in episode 2 when Diamond was stopped, and they answered this in episode 10 when Officer Kayla said his registration came back fake, and it's probably something Ghost left for him with registrations and fake IDs. But this check was also followed up by Kayla and Vargas, snapping Tommy in episode 3 when they were looking at the Flynns. So it was just a matter of when and not if these photos came back, which Tommy did recognize when he was spotted. And this is why he was pissed at JP, because him calling Kay put his dead status in jeopardy, because she was another piece that connected him back to New York. But at some point, Tommy was always going to attract the attention of law enforcement in Chicago. Because to take over the drug game, you have to kill, take over territory, and make your mark. And Officer Kayla said they didn't know who he was, where he's from, but he is dangerous and he's making big plays. And not just passing through Chicago, he's here to take over, and he only answers to himself. And he was described as a ghost. And this is what Tommy is in this moment in time in Chicago. He's Casper the Ghost. So let's take this to New York, where we saw the return of Agent Medina from Power, Jenny Sullivan from Power Book 2 Ghost, and Blanca Rodriguez from Power and Ghost. Now Jenny Sullivan was here mainly to answer the timeline of where they were in both shows, which is at the end of season 2 of Ghost, just after Tariq's court case. So Power Book 2 Ghost and Force are running in real time. But Agent Medina is now the boss of Blanca Rodriguez, and we saw her bringing him this file with Irish activity with ties to Dublin, and she wanted this case. But Medina said she needed to focus her attentions in New York because she's got this Mecca case with Tariq St. Patrick to deal with. But she is going to keep a close eye on what's happening with this case in Chicago, because what have we learned about Blanca Rodriguez for all these years on Power? She's like a dog with a bone, and she's very ambitious, very Cooper Saxe-like. And they are two characters who will stop at nothing to put the bad guys behind bars. And when she finds Tommy's pictures, which I'm sure she will, she's gonna realize he's alive. And this is where it really will become chaos, because this is someone who evaded law enforcement for 6 seasons on Power. And you can bet she will want to finish what she started, and maybe Cooper Saxe as well, because I really would love to see the look on Cooper Saxe's face if he were to find out Tommy was alive. Of course, we need to see what happens and plays out in Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3, because at some point I do expect Blanca Rodriguez to stumble across these pictures of Tommy, and then it's just a question of what move she makes next, and how this impacts Tommy and his business in Chicago, which we probably won't know until Season 2 of Force. So, with Tommy potentially in trouble with law enforcement, I want to take you back to something Joseph Sikora said, so I'm just going to play a short clip for you.
Is Tariq going to appear on my show? I can't tell you that, but you know that he's going to definitely need Uncle Tommy's help at some point. I don't know if Tasha will be because she's in witness protection, but she might. You never know who's going to pop up.
And this is 100% true. Tariq will need Uncle Tommy's help at some point, but I think you could say Uncle Tommy may need Tariq's help again, because he was the one who helped him fake his death. And you could argue they are somewhat on the same side, with both of them being investigated by law enforcement and possibly Blanca Rodriguez. So let's see how this all unfolds, because I'm sure we're gonna see this come back in Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3. So with that being said, drop me all your thoughts down below on Liliana's death, because I'm sure where some will argue she earned her death, others will say she didn't. But one thing we can all agree on, she was loyal till the end, and this one will hurt, similar to Julio and Proctor. But let me know your thoughts down below on Liliana's death, as well as this crossover between the two Power worlds, because the Power universe really is hotting up. And I honestly can't wait for Season 3 of Ghost, because now with the added element of the crossover, it's gonna be even more intriguing. But drop all your comments down below, and of course if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 4 Force and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.